10 Incredible Ways on How to Memorize Quicker Than Others. Imagine that you have an exam in a few days, but you are not fully prepared. You are mortified by that very thought. When your friends start discussing the topic you have learnt in class and depict how much they remember, you silently scoff. You would be lying through your teeth if you said that you didn't regret preparing for the exams early enough. The truth is, you are riddled with guilt. When you remember that your parents had threatened to punish you if you fail in your exams, fear surges through your body, threatening to destroy you. Now, what should you do? Will you let yourself fail the test? Are you a fan of the television show called Henry Danger in Nickelodeon? If you are, you probably remember the episode where Henry had not prepared for his history test on Puerto Rico. Gooch and Ray put a machine on his head which helped him memorize everything he needed to know about Puerto Rico in seconds. Lucky kid. Right. Unfortunately, that only happens in movies and not in real life. If you are sailing in the same boat with the student mentioned in the first paragraph, worry not. Here are 10 secrets on how to memorize quicker than others. 1. Repeat information after learning it. Forgetting a new concept that you have learnt is very easy. What should you do to memorize it? You should repeat the concept over and over again. The brain gives importance to things that we repeat because it perceives these things as necessary information. Think about reciting a poem or singing a song sang by your favorite musician. If you recite the poem over and over again, you will memorize its words. If you sing a song or listen to it over and over again, you will memorize its lyrics. Repetition is also very helpful in maths. You will memorize a math concept if you work out many questions that require you to follow that particular concept. For subjects like history and biology, you should read your notes for several times so that you can memorize the main points. How many times should you repeat reading a subtopic or working out a concept? As many times as you can. Repetition is very useful not just for students, but also for writers who want to improve their writing skills, people who want to learn a new language, artists who paint and draw, poets, scientists, chefs, and bakers. 2. Recite aloud when reading. At times, when reading silently, your mind wanders and you start thinking about other things. By the time you continue reading, you have forgotten everything that you had read earlier. Reciting aloud when reading will solve the problem. It will help you to avoid distractions because you will concentrate on what you are saying. Thus, memorizing the information will be easier. 3. Create a mnemonic that will help you remember a topic. Mnemonics work like magic. A mnemonic is a formula that helps you to remember something, and there are different mnemonics available on the internet. However, you may not find the mnemonic you need on the internet, or the one available may be confusing and difficult to remember. The good thing is that you can form your own mnemonic. There is no law in the world against forming mnemonics. So, create your mnemonic that will help you to remember a particular concept or information. You can take the first letters of word and use them to form a mnemonic, or you can form a whole word or words using the letters and use these words to form a sentence. The method that you use to form a mnemonic is completely up to you. The most important thing is that the mnemonic you create helps you to memorize what you need to. Right. Examples of science mnemonics that have helped students include Roitbiv. For the colors of the rainbow. Red. Orange. Yellow. Green. Blue. Indigo. And violet. Wow. For conditions that a seed needs to germinate. Warmth. Oxygen. Water. My very educated mother just showed us 9 planets. For the planets. Mercury. Venus. Earth. Mars. Jupiter. Saturn. Uranus. Neptune. And Pluto. Bodmas. 4. Bracket of division. Multiplication. Addition. Subtraction. 4. Find a connection between the things that you have learnt. At times, the main points in a topic are related. Let me give an example. When I was in high school, I learned about the agrarian revolution in history. One of the subtopics was the advantages of agrarian revolution. To remember the advantages, I found a connection between the main points. The points were: agrarian revolution introduced new farming methods. It led to urbanization, or the growth of towns. People had adequate food. Food production increased. And the population increased. I found a relationship between these 5 points, and this helped me to memorize them. I would tell myself, if there are new farming methods, the food obtained from the farms will be more. When the food is adequate, people will eat and live comfortably. When this happens, the population of people will increase. This will lead to the growth of towns. I have never forgotten the advantages of agrarian revolution, even after I completed high school. You can do the same thing when learning. Find a relationship between the main points in different subtopics, and it will be easy for you to memorize them. Try this out and the outcome will surprise you. 5. Jot down the main points. Writing down the main points is more helpful than you may think. It will help you to familiarize yourself with the topic. When learning something new, you can write the points in the order that will help you memorize it easily. Other benefits of jotting down points as you read include: first, it increases your concentration. You will concentrate more when writing short notes as you read than when you read continuously. Next, reading continuously can be boring. Writing down notes breaks the monotony. Also, you can easily track what you have understood and what you haven't. You can put a mark to help you identify this. Another is that you can write important points in your own words to gauge your understanding. And lastly, when reading a storybook or a novel, you can write down the words that you wish to use in future. 6. Study at the time that is convenient for you. The time you study can determine whether or not you will memorize a concept. If you study when you are tired, you may not memorize the information because your mind is too tired to do so. On the other hand, if you are bored when studying, you may not memorize the information as well, because you lack interest. You will be reading just to pass time. The best time to study is the moment when your mind is fresh and you are ready to read. This can be in the morning, or in the afternoon, or even in the evening, depending on your schedule. 7. Strive to understand what you are learning. Have you ever read your book or notes and it's as if everything has been written in a foreign language that you do not understand? I kid you not, it is very frustrating. And as if that is not enough, you hardly remember anything that you have read. This only happens when you do not understand what you are learning. The best thing to do is to read each paragraph sentence by sentence. Try to understand what each sentence means, then find out the main points and explain them in your own words. When you succeed in this, remembering the information will be as simple as taking candy from a baby. 8. Teach others. When teaching others, you need to remember all that you had learned. You will be reciting the information that you had gone through. During this process, you can gauge your own understanding of the topic. You can relearn something, and at times, we tend to think that we have fully memorized something, but this thought is put to test when teaching others. You can end up realizing that you had forgotten a step or an important point. When this happens, you can teach yourself and the person you are teaching by referring back to the materials that you had used. You can also sit in front of a mirror and recite all that you have learned in your own words. Children can teach their dolls or even their pets what they learned in school. This is very effective because it is a way of revising. Do not shy away from teaching others. It is a win-win experience. 9. Use diagrams and images. You may have a lot of notes to read. There are points which are more important than others. What you can do is to create diagrams like tables, flowcharts, or graphs to help you memorize the information. The first thing you need to do is to identify the important points when reading. Then, you can choose how to represent this information. If you feel that using a flowchart will help you to memorize the information, then go ahead and use it. 10. Associate what you have learnt with real-life events. At times, you may need to memorize a concept in a certain order. This is mostly the case when working out mathematical questions. You need to know the steps of working out a sum in the correct order. Missing a step in the order required may be detrimental, because it will affect the outcome. In order to curb this, you can relate the steps to real-life events by creating a story or relating it to something in real life. When you have forgotten a step, ask yourself what would happen next according to the story, or remember the real-life event. I will give you a simple example. A math question reads, Dina bought 30 apples on Monday, 170 more apples on Tuesday than on Monday, and 20 less apples on Wednesday than on Tuesday. Find out the number of apples that she bought on Tuesday and Wednesday and complete the statement below. This seems like an easy question. The steps applied when answering it can be easily memorized. However, one thing might confuse the student: the correct sign to put in the black space in the statement. How can a real-life situation help you to solve this? Simply create the signs and, using your hands by placing them on your waist. The side that any of your elbows point towards is where the smaller number is. If your right elbow forms this shape, the number after the shape is smaller than the number before the shape. So, 234 greater than 123, and 654 less than 1862. Isn't this an easy way of remembering a concept? Lastly, here are some benefits of memorizing things quickly. 1. Memorization saves you time when reviewing for your exams. If you memorize your notes early enough, going through them during the exam period is a walk in the park. You will quickly go through them just to make sure that you are ready. 2. It boosts your confidence. If you are supposed to recite a poem, you will be calm only when you have memorized the words. And 3. You will pass your test. Memorizing information can seem like an uphill task in the beginning. However, you will enjoy its benefits. All you need to do is to try out the different methods of memorization and choose the one that works best for you. You can use more than method, or even better, all of them. At the same time, try the different ways and you will thank me later. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Share, like, and comment down below any thoughts about this video.